Hello, good afternoon, good evening, and good morning. Whatever time of the day you are watching this video, thank you for clicking to watch this video. My name is Emmanuel, and I'm on a mission of preparing 2025 JAMB candidates that will come up with very excellent grades in JAMB. So my target is to make sure that I have a good number of students from my coaching class who will be among the top nationwide in JAMB this year. And if you are just coming across my video for the first time, I've been doing this in several ways. I have a special WhatsApp coaching group where I have a lot of students, over 100 of them currently, that are learning under me. I've been subjecting them under various forms of training, including intellectual training, brain training, and even academically. So I aim to prepare them in every way so that when they get to exam hall, they will do well because they are equipped in knowledge. They are equipped in handling problems, problem solving. They are equipped in handling even stress and any other thing that is around exams. So it's a holistic approach that I'm using to ensure that they are well trained. So if you are just seeing this video for the first time, this is what I'm doing. So sometimes I may mention some things that because I'm referring to my students most times, these videos are for them. But if you also have a goal of passing JAMB very well, no problem. You can keep watching this video. You are going to learn a lot. But then, if you desire also to get yourself subjected under various other trainings like our mental drills, where I train my students on speed and accuracy, and several other trainings I subject them to, you can do well to drop your a comment indicating your interest. I will see how I will add you to the group. So if this is your first time, I want to say you are welcome and thank you for joining us. So like I've already announced in the group that we are taking a new method so as to prepare you well. I have looked at the ways we have been doing and I feel there is need for us to do much more. So I came up with this strategy that I feel would be better for us. You see, one thing in this life is willingness to learn, adjust, and improve. So I want us to actually be ahead of many. I have over the time observed what other coaches are doing. Sincerely, I have not seen anybody that is doing what we are doing. That's just the truth. All I have seen is answering past questions, giving you syllables, just like that. Nobody care about whether you are accurate in answering your questions, whether you are fast to be able to meet up with the time JAMB will give you. Nobody care about that. So, but I have been bringing in these things because over the time, I cannot continue to mention my academic success, my stories all the time. But my students knew what I told you. So I have learned these things. I have mastered it. I have asked some students to do it and they have implemented it and it worked for them. So that's why I'm bringing these small things to just make sure that in every way you are ahead of other students. So that's my goal, because my goal is to make you have higher grades. So if I did not prepare you in every way, then there is no point. There is no need of saying, come and join my class. You can join any other class if there is nothing unique about my class. So I have several things that makes my class unique that other platforms, other videos are not even showing. So Stay with me till the end. At the end of this video, I'm going to expose some tips again, as usual, to help you prepare well. So if you are joining us and you have interest in joining my special class so that you can receive a superior preparation and training to sit for your JAMB 2025, please drop a comment on the comment section indicating your interest. I'll find a way of bringing you on board to join us. So thank you very much. I'm happy to have you, but let me say this again. I've announced it in the group that we are taking another method, we are taking another pattern, and the pattern is we are looking at this syllabus in details. See, what I want to do is I want you to master every topic. I have checked all the topics that JAMB have listed in the syllabus. There are not many. We can cover them conveniently before exams. So I feel instead of just dwelling on past questions, our mental drills and other stuffs that we are doing in our group, I feel I should be dropping explanatory videos that will explain these topics one by one, and then I will set questions, JAMB standard questions, and I will even pick questions from JAMB in the particular topic. I will make sure that I will ask questions thoroughly under that particular topic that have been treated. Then after that, I will give you these questions and you will answer them. After that, I will drop correct answers so that you will see corrections. With this, when you enter exam hall, any area JAMB decide to ask you, you are already familiar with those things. I hope you get what I'm trying to do now, so that you won't say, why is it that we are not talking about past questions again? We will still talk about past questions, but what we are about to do is superior to past questions. We are cracking the code. We are going extra mile. Yes. See, everybody is doing past questions now. Yes, there is no difference. So we need to stand out. We need to come up with new techniques. That's the secret. So if you are always curious to discover something a little that can make you difference, I tell you, you'll be better. That's just the secret about life. I won't tell you how I discovered some of these things, but let me share a story with you. There was a time I found, I was very curious to observe all this tomato, when tomato was thin. You know, the first one that came, if you are familiar, you will know that you have to use knife to open it, right? Yes. Now later, another one came that has a ring on top of it that you just pull and it will open. Do you know what happened? That's what we call innovation. Just a little difference. The tomato paste content may be similar, the can may be similar, the color may even be similar. But because this one has something that can help you open it easily, those guys made money. In fact, they pulled plenty customers from those ones that don't have pin. Do you understand the secret now? So the secret is, what little thing can I do to stand out, to be better than others? So that's why I'm always working tirelessly to see that I've come up with effective ways to prepare effectively for these exams. You must not write JAMB twice, or even if you have written last year and did not pass, you should not have to write it again. You can sit for JAMB at once and hit your target score. That's what I'm saying. And that's why I'm doing all that is within my capacity to ensure that I have brought what is the best to you. If you are new here and you are interested in what I'm saying, subscribe to this channel. Like, share this video with others. There are other students who are interested in this, your friends and others too. Share it with them. It can be of help to them. Yes, it can be of help to them. By the way, I'm looking for only serious students. So those who will be committed. So if you are like that, if you are such a student, feel free to subscribe so that you'll be seeing many of my videos. Anytime I post, you'll be able to have access to my video. You can also click on the notification button so that you will be notified anytime I post a new video. My students, I believe you have clicked on notification button. That's why you are seeing my videos anytime I posted them. So thank you. Let's go right into what we have today. Today we are talking about biology. 2 days ago we talked about physics, paying a particular attention under calculations. Yes, I'm happy about that. I love what we did for the last 2 days. And I'm so happy that you guys are getting it because your mental drills yesterday showed that you are really getting it. All right, so today we are looking at biology, and in this biology, from the syllabus, the first thing JAMB talk about is about animals, characteristics of animals or living and non-living things, their characteristics. So I will not talk about that. I know you know that. I will not be talking about movement, respiration, excretion. No, I won't talk about that here. But I will start under cell because there are some important things you need to know there. Yes. So I'll start under cell, and that's what we have this afternoon. So let's get right into it. All right. So one of the things you should familiarize yourself with is the cell structure, the components, and their functions. I don't need to define cell. Yes, you know them. Then when we talk about types of cell, broadly speaking, we have 2 types of cells, the plant and animal cells. But when we get right into animals also, you find out that we also have types of cells there. For example, we have muscle cell, we have nerve cell, we have liver cell. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Each of these cells, we have blood cells. These cells, their shapes are not even the same. I hope you know that. For example, muscle cell is a bit long. It's not cycle. It's not just like it's not spherical in shape like the generalized plant cell and animal cell we used to see. So, but when we talk about types of cell, we broadly classify cells into plant and animal cells. But when we get into the body, for example, of a mammal, we begin to have different types of cells inside also. And their shapes are not the same. They may have all the organelles in similar. And in some cases, some organelles are even more in some animals than others. For example, the number of mitochondria in muscle cells is higher than in adipose tissues, in cells that store fats in the body. That's why muscle appear, is it pink now, in shape or brown? Because of mitochondria. Yes. There are these birds that fly to a long distance. I forgot their name. We call them, is it African something something? Sorry, I didn't remember that. But they are white birds. They follow cows sometimes. If peradventure you come across that bird and you are able to get it, try and observe carefully. If you remove their feather, their entire body is dark brown in shape. Do you know why? It is because their entire body is built in such a way that it has plenty mitochondria. And I believe you know the function of mitochondria. It's the powerhouse. Yes, it's the powerhouse where energy is produced. So, because these birds travel far to a long distance, they need the production of energy continuously. So their cells, their body cells has to have plenty mitochondria. I hope someone is getting something. I have not even entered deep into cells, so I'm just bringing, because I have seen questions like this. Why is it the African something bird? Oh, why did this name went away now? All right, so they say, why are they dark? Why is their body very dark? Their skin and their entire body. That's the reason. Because they travel long distance, so they need consistent energy production, which will require their cells to have plenty mitochondria for the energy to keep being produced. Simple as that. All right, let's go. Now, we know that we have plant and animal cell. We are going to look at the differences between the two of them. Another thing you should know is you should be able to identify the cell organelles. Now, JAMB may decide to ask questions based on function or based on the description, shape. They may decide to say the part of a cell that looks like connected rods together is referred to as this. Do you see that this question is under description now? They can come from the angle of function and say the part of the cell responsible for the storage of water and waste products is. Do you see that's from function angle now? So you are supposed to know both function and shapes. All right. With me here is a generalized plant cell. I don't know if you can see it very well. So there we have the cell membrane, we have the vacuole, we have the cell wall, the ribosomes. I believe you are all familiar with this. These pictures are not my own. I downloaded them for the purpose of illustration only, please. So we have different parts there. So please note their description. You can check for a picture of a cell, well-labeled picture of a cell, and observe again these organelles and how they look, so that you will get it carefully. I don't want a situation where something will not be very clear to you and you won't get it. So go online, download one, very clear one, check it and observe what is inside. So now let's quickly run into some of these organelles and check for their functions, so that if JAMB decide to ask question from the angle of functions, you will be able to answer it clearly. So I have the plant cell at the top and I have the animal cell at the bottom. We are going to look at some of the differences and then we'll look at some of the similarities, but let's start with the functions first. So here, observe that we have the nucleus. Nucleus is the control center of the cell. There are two functions I will mention that I have observed over the time they come up in JAMB. Two of them. One, the nucleus is the control center of the cell. The second function is that is the storage center of genetic information or genetic material. DNA is found inside the nucleus, and DNA is responsible for the transfer of inheritance. That's the genetic material. So these two functions have been coming again and again in JAMB. I've seen several questions. What's the function of the nucleus? The function of the nucleus is that it stores genetic material. It's the genetic material storage. Or sometimes they will say the genetic material is stored in the organ labeled. They will draw the structure, they will now label them, they will now write the name, and they will ask you, where is the genetic material stored? So I believe this is also clear. Let's move right on. Cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is the outside the nucleus, but within the cell. So this part of the cell is very important because that's where chemical reactions occur. Which type of chemical reactions? Metabolism. Metabolism have to do with what? Building up or breaking down. That building up, sometimes we call it biosynthesis. So I hope you know Anytime you eat food, that food gets digested, gets into the cells. Inside the cells, they are broken down to provide energy or to build up body or any other function that is related to the type of food you eat. Alright, when you advance, you will even discover someone said our bodies don't need protein. And when I didn't know it, I was arguing. Why can you say that our body don't need protein? Is protein not important for the building of worn-out tissues? But then I discovered that even if you eat protein, the protein gets digested into amino acids. That's the building blocks of protein. When these amino acids gets into the cell will assemble them in the way it wants it. So protein is not absorbed and used the way you eat it. I hope I'm not going too deep. So note that the cytoplasm is where the chemical reactions takes place, where metabolism takes place, where the synthesis of biomolecules take place. Let's go to ribosomes. Ribosomes are responsible for protein synthesis. They are like granules in shape. Yes, the last time I've answered question related to this was I was explaining the smooth endoplasmic reticulum and the rough endoplasmic reticulum. And I say smooth endoplasmic reticulum is responsible for the synthesis of lipids. And lipids has to do with oils, fats and oils. And fats and oils are always smooth. With this, you can connect it. Oh, what is it? Smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Smooth fats and oil. While rough is responsible for the synthesis of protein. And what makes it rough is the ribosomes that are looking like granules that are attached to it. I hope this is clear. Alright, so one of the functions of ribosomes is synthesis of the proteins. That's their major function, synthesis of protein. Then endoplasmic reticulum, they are responsible for synthesis and transport. I didn't include synthesis here. So they are responsible for synthesis and transport. They are the ones that are like roads, like they are long roads that are connected together. Something that looks like a rake, but they are connected together. So they are responsible for transport. They can carry and take somewhere from one part of the cell to another. And they are also responsible for synthesis, like in this case of smooth endoplasmic reticulum, where we have fat synthesis, and in this case of rough endoplasmic reticulum, where we have protein synthesis. You may be asked questions from the angle of the function of cell organelles. Note this. I want you to get them now, please. Let's continue. Alright, then we have cell membrane. Cell membrane. So cell membrane is found in both plants and animals. It is found in both plants and animals. So, and it is responsible for giving cell its shape. Another name for cell membrane is plasma membrane. I remember I asked it in the previous question. And it appears as if some people are clueless. They don't even know what's plasma membrane. Please note this. In case they decide not to put cell membrane and put plasma membrane, they mean the same thing, no? Please. So note that. So cell membrane is the outer layer that protects the cell from the outer environment. Just think of it like a fence that closed the house from outside environment and that allowed a selective movement of substances. Yes, so is the gate, is the fence. It allows what only it permits to enter into the cell, so that things will not be entering into cell anyhow and destroy it. So that's cell membrane. Then we have cell wall. Cell wall is in plant. Please, anytime you hear cell wall, note that it is only found in plants. The second thing I will beg you to know is that anytime you hear cell wall, remember structural support. Structural support means what gives it rigidity, its strength. Don't forget this. Very important. Very important. I remember one question we asked previously where they said a mature plant cell is characterized by, can you see it? Having a cellulose wall, a strong cell wall. I was even illustrating, I said, if you touch the tip of a growing plant, how does it look like? You can easily cut it because the cells there are not yet matured. What if they become mature? It becomes tough and hard. So anytime you hear cell wall, please don't forget structural support. Thank you. Then we have chloroplast. Yes, chloroplast, where chlorophyll is found, and it is for photosynthesis. I hope you know that photosynthesis does not occur in animals. It only occurs in plants, and even the plants, green plants, because we have some plants that are not green. I hope you know this. Then we have vacuole. Vacuole is a storage organ or a storage part or organelle that stores nutrients and waste products. Nutrients and waste products. Please note this. We are going to look at differences now. So under differences, what are the differences between plant and animal? Very important. Now a question may come this way. Which of the following is found in plant cell but not in animal cell? Do you get this? I hope you get what I mean. A question may be asked in that way. 2. One of the following is found in animal cell but not in plant cell. So if you don't know the difference, you cannot answer it. So you need to know the difference between plant and animal cells very well. I have seen a question like that also in JAMB. I think we have treated a question like that where they are saying which of the following is true about plant cell. They are now saying that the vacuole is big, the nucleus is small, the vacuole is at the center, the vacuole is by the side, this and that. So you have to know it very well. So the unique features of plants, plant cells only, cell wall, chloroplast, and large vacuole. So note this please. Only plants have cell wall, have chloroplast, where chlorophyll is located for photosynthesis, and then have large vacuoles. Animals have vacuoles too. Animal cells have vacuoles, but they are usually small, and sometimes it may be absent. Please note this. And animal cells have what we call lysosomes and centrioles. Centrioles are important during cell division, the phases of cell division. Mitosis, not meiosis. Mitosis, cell division. So what is the role of lysosomes? Lysosomes they play more like a protective function. They have a substance that is dangerous to microorganisms. So how they work is that they are small. They are also small, spherical in shape. So if bacteria enters into the cell, this lysosome can engulf it and close it and digest it and release the small particles of that bacteria. So that's why I said they play immunological role, immunity, protective function against microbial organisms. So let's go forward. I believe that I'm going to set many questions under this cell just to test your knowledge. So be expecting, please. So then the next one is levels of organization. and this is also simple. I believe many of you are familiar with this. So the biological levels of organization, we have cell to tissue, from tissue to organ, from organ to system, from system to organism. Cell is the smallest. We've answered one question similar to this, that which of the following is the lowest in the biological level of organization. They now say tissue, organism, organ, cell. If question comes like this, I hope you know it. I hope you'll be able to answer it. Yes, you will. So thank you for that. So they can also say which of the following is highest in the biological levels of organization. So you can answer that too. So let's go to see some examples. So when we talk about cell, some organisms exist as cells. So these are at the lowest part of the organization of life, or levels of organization. These organisms exist as cells. Example: Euglena, Paramecium, Amoeba, Chlamydomonas. All these are cells. They exist as cells. They have one nucleus. They have one, all the cell organelles, just like one of your cells is. That's how they exist. Even though they may have moving pattern, moving parts. Yes, like flagella in the case of Euglena. They may ask all these things. So they may ask all these things in JAMB. They may say which of the following is a part that so organism use for movement. Flagella, for Euglena, cilia for Paramecium. Amoeba doesn't have true legs or true body movement patterns. Are we getting that? So it has pseudo. That means false. It has false legs. So it changes its movement. It just changes shape of its body in a particular way and move. Even feeding, that's how it feeds. It engulfs what it wants to eat and it internalizes it and it digests it. So this exists at the cellular level of organization. Then under tissue, we know that tissue is a collection of many cells. When many cells come together, we have a tissue. Examples of tissues are epithelial tissues. Epithelial tissues are the wall, the lining of the small intestine. The lining of the small intestine is made up of tissues, collectively called epithelial tissues. We have nervous tissues, we have connective tissues, we have muscle tissue. So in human body, we have different tissues that come together. Now, one particular one that I see JAMB always make emphasis about every year, almost every year, is this organism, Hydra. Hydra exists as as a tissue. It's an organism, but it exists as a tissue. I hope you are getting this. It exists as a tissue. Why? Because it only has two layers, and each of these layers is made up of tissues, the epidermis and gastrodermis. Epidermis is the outer layer, and this outer layer is made up of tissues. Then we have gastrodermy. Gastrodermy has to do with the part that is used for digestion. So it has these two layers, and these two layers are tissues. So we can say that Hydra has two types of tissues only. So that's why it is categorized under tissue level. And I have seen this question. Please just know this animal, this organism very well. Know where it belongs when it comes to organization of life. I don't know why they like asking question under this. Sincerely, okay, we have jellyfish, we have coral, we all have other organisms that exist under tissue level, but I don't just know why they like asking about Hydra. So please know this Hydra very well, that it belongs to a tissue level of organization. Thank you. Let's go to the next level. The next level is organ. Yes, when many tissues collectively come together to perform a specific function, then we have an organ. Yes. So, under organ, under organ, we have several examples also, but I see onion bulb. Let me be specific. No onion. Don't just say onion. All right. So onion bulb. Onion bulb is an organ. I will tell you why it is referred to as an organ. I know we are familiar with the fact that heart is an organ, liver is an organ, lungs is an organ, kidney an organ, and several other organs in the body. We are familiar with that. But then I also see JAMB wanting, they like asking questions that has to do with plants when it comes to organizations of life. So onion bulb is an example of an organ. I said organ is made up of various tissues that come together to perform a specific function. So onion bulb is made up of uh, different kind of tissues put together or that come together to perform a specific function. What function is onion bulb performing? Storage function. It stores carbohydrates that helps during sprouting and other stuff. It stores nutrients, if I can use their word. It stores nutrients. That's what onion bulb does. And it is made up of different tissues put together. It has the xylem, the parenchyma, the epidermis, all those parts of all those tissues, plant tissues. It has them. It has phloem. It has several other parts. And that is why it is fit to be categorized under organ level of life's organization. Please get this and get it very well. Then when we go to respiratory, okay, this is under system. So under system level, we also have different kinds of system. What is a system? A system is when organs are connected together. Organs, excuse me. Organs connected together, it what is referred to as a system. For example, digestive system. Digestive system is made up of several organs connected together. For example, the stomach, the intestines, the liver, all are connected to digestion. All right, I've given an illustration here. Look at this image. Look at this image carefully. This image is an image of circulatory system. Circulatory system. So, and there are many organs that are connected to this. Look at the heart there. Do you see the heart? The heart is an organ, isn't it? Look at kidney. Kidney is an organ. These two are key in circulatory system. Then we have blood vessels. Yes, blood vessels are key also. So these are organs connected together to perform a superior function. This is more than an organ function. An organ performs a specific function of either storage, biosynthesis, and others. But this one performs a bigger function, and that is what a system is. Let me chip in this very quickly, even though it's not part of this class. I don't know if I will remember to say it when I will be dealing with circulatory system. But we have different kinds of blood vessels. We have particularly the veins and the what? The arteries. The veins carries deoxygenated blood, while arteries carries oxygenated blood. But okay, there is a question that usually comes up, and I've seen it several times. All veins in the body carries the oxygenated blood, except pulmonary vein. That's the answer. And It might come out in the assignment for today. All veins in the body carries deoxygenated blood except pulmonary vein. Pulmonary vein is a vein that carries blood that is oxygenated from lungs to the heart. On the other side, all arteries carries blood that is oxygenated except pulmonary artery. Yes, pulmonary artery has to do with carrying deoxygenated blood from the heart to the lungs for oxygenation. I hope you know that it is a cycle that happens between the lungs and the heart. When blood that is oxygenated comes to the heart, it is sent to the lungs through the pulmonary artery. So the oxygenated blood from the heart moves to the lungs through the pulmonary artery. After the blood is being oxygenated at the lungs, then that oxygenated blood is carried back to the heart through pulmonary vein. I hope this is well noted. I will stop at this point in time. I have promised to reveal some of the... I said for those that watch till the end, I will tell them some tips that will help them. Alright, this is it. When it comes to learning, you need to understand yourself very well. Whether you are first a slow learner or fast learner, there is no difference when it comes to achievement. I just believe that what another person that has one head can achieve, you too can achieve. The time may be different. So know who you are, know the best time you learn. For me, I learn best during the morning hours, early hours of the morning. So I devote that time to studying. Anything I want to study, I look at that time and try and sleep early so that I wake up early and study. Please know yourself. Know yourself. Second is active recall. When you study something and you understand it, don't believe that you know it. For example, for me to boldly say I understand something, I study it or I look at it or I read it, I study it like 3 times. See, anything you study 3 times and you understood it at each time you study it, it will never leave your brain. I assure you of this. I'm not saying calculations, so where numbers, you are likely to forget those things. But anything that you study, I have applied this principle. It has worked for me. It has worked for several students I have worked for. In fact, one of those in the university recently sent me a text message thanking me, say, "Uncle, thank you. I've gotten A in my research work." And don't worry, I don't need to explain what research work is now. When you come to the university, you will know it. It's the biggest course in the university. Yes. And she did well. I was so happy. I have many testimonies of my students. That's why I told you it's not only JAMB. I have testimonies from students from different areas. Today, one of the boys I used to do home lesson for in the past insists that her mother must call me. And she called me. He said, "When will I come and I said, "Me, I'm schooling. I'm doing my master's. I'm doing my MSc now." He said, "Please, uncle, come." So the boy is missing me. And since I've been taking him, though he's a young boy, maybe not up to 10, but I've also understand even some of the ways you can nail something into the heads of little children. So it's just a secret. Once you understand it, there is nothing you cannot learn. There is nothing that is too hard on this earth. Let me not make this video long. If you've not subscribed, I don't know what you are waiting for. If you are getting any value from what I've been sharing, subscribe. This is one of the ways you will help me to make my videos go far, because I have a target, and my target is to have many students excel in this year's JAMB. I want many students that will be counted. I want my students to make the list of top scorers in JAMB in 2025. So please, I need many people to see this video. Please subscribe, like, hit the notification button so that once I post this kind of videos, you will see them and those other persons will see them. If you have any question from what I've shared, also drop it in the comment section and I will address it. Please subscribe, like this video. Don't go without liking it. Like it, thumbs up. Thank you very much. God bless you.